Hello everybody and welcome to another Watchful I product review. This time we're going to look at Battlefront Miniatures BMP 3 Company box set for the World War III Team Yankee game system. This box retails for $45 and the code is TSBX23. Front of the box shows 5 of these BMP 3s in action, which is the contents of this box set. Also listing the Soviet flag in the upper right hand corner, letting you know what nation these are for, and depending on how the Warsaw Pact forces pan out in future releases, you may even be able to use these for them. Let's flip over the box, take a look at the back. The back of the box shows you the contents, listing 5 BMP3 transports with 4 unit cards, also showing you the instructions on putting together the vehicle. The one thing I will note is, as you can see, the hull and main body of this vehicle essentially comes in 5 pieces, and I would clip them all off the sprue, clean them up, and dry fit them before you put any glue on the pieces, mainly because they all work harmoniously together, and if you do them in pieces and let the glue dry, you may find that the rear part of the hull, for example, may be harder to fit on the vehicle itself and not have a snug fit. I use plastic cement for putting together all of my hard plastic, which makes it much easier to move the pieces around while the glue is drying to give all of them a nice snug fit. Let's crack this box open and have a look. You get 5 BMP3 sprues, giving you all the pieces that you need to assemble this vehicle. It comes in the now standard Soviet green color, allowing you to put these on the tabletop, start playing some games without having to worry about painting them too much. Now let's see what these can do on the battlefield. All the different BMP vehicles can essentially be taken in the same role, but between the BMP 1, 2, and 3, you will find that the armor and even the weapon types improve as you move on. The big consideration to think about when taking the BMP 3s is because their front armor is so high, they're restricted in their battlefield role depending on the scenarios that you play. In this case, you can see the vehicle being taken as a transport, has a main gun with an anti-tank missile that may also be fired, as well as other machine guns. The common theme that I'm seeing in the Soviet army is that courage of a 4+ with a morale of 3 and a remount of 3, and that skill rating and assault of 5+ with a counterattack of a 4+. The trend that I also notice in the Soviet tanks is their cross of a 3+, which is nice when moving through terrain. Let's see if there's any differences when we take the BMP-3 as a recon vehicle. The BMP-3 scout vehicle essentially has absolutely no changes to its armaments, its armor, or its skill ratings, but it does give you the spearhead special rule, which is always a bonus, allowing you to advance deploy your forces. Let's take a look at the BMP-3s as fielded in a shock battalion. The shock battalion is probably identified as the elite force for the Soviet army. You can see that in their statistics. Courage, morale, and remount haven't changed, but the skill rating is 2 better at a 3+, and the assault is 1 better at a 4+, with the counterattack staying the same at a 4+. The armaments are identical to the normal BMP-3 transports or recon vehicles. It's just the troops that are fighting in these vehicles are a little bit better than your standard Soviet force. Let's see how the points compare. Looking at the difference between the shock recon platoon and the regular recon platoon is essentially you're getting 1 more vehicle for 9 points. So you're getting 4 BMP-3s in a regular recon platoon. You're getting 3 BMP-3s in that shock recon platoon, which is where the difference in the statistics comes into play. And again, you can't take 4 BMP-3s in the shock recon platoon, and at the minimum amount of vehicles for this platoon, there's 1 point difference, with 5 points for the recon platoon and 6 points for the shock recon platoon. Here is my 6-point shock recon platoon, which is what I'm going to be building my Soviet force out, consisting of T-80s and the newer BMP-3s. So this will allow me to have some spearhead in my formation, advance deploying some of my smaller platoons and getting in the enemy's face as quickly as I can. For a retail store, something to consider about carrying any type of transport in your shop is looking at the unit entries for how many transports you would need for those respective companies. So in this case, for the BMP-3, BMP3, if you look at the motor rifle company, a max strength company would require 12 BMP3s with a medium strength of 9 and an under strength company of 4. So in this instance, you would either need 1 box, 2 boxes, or 3 boxes. The nice thing about carrying 3 boxes in your store for somebody that wanted to buy a max rifle company is it leaves you 3 extra BMPs that you could utilize for a recon platoon. So as you get players in your store talking about what unit entries they'd like to select, you can let them know that those extra BMP3s won't go to waste. If you look at the BMP Shock Motor Rifle Company, you're essentially in a similar scenario with needing 6 BMP3s for a maxed out rifle company or 4 BMP3s for an understrength. In this instance, you would need 1 box for the understrength and 2 boxes for the max strength. This would give you 4 additional BMP3s, leaving 1 BMP out in the cold, mainly because the max recon platoon that you can have in a shock company is 3 BMP3s. But if someone is taking the rifle company and takes 2 platoons of these, that would give you 12 BMP3s that would be required, leaving you 3 additional BMP3s that you can use for that recon platoon. So as a retail store owner or manager, or even having one of your employees a little bit knowledgeable or at least understanding the rules enough to be able to look at some of these unit cards and know the type of stock that you should carry so you're not missing out on any sales. I think it's important to establish that trust and relationship with your customers, knowing that if they're coming in your store, they want to spend money, and if you don't have it on the shelf, you may miss out. But I also know it's difficult with all the products that are out there in the world and trying to determine what the best product mix for your store is. These are just some suggestions to hopefully help you out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and don't forget, let's keep a watchful eye on the hobby. Thanks for watching. Take care.